Good evening, everyone. It's a little bit late, but I thought I would do this talk today on a very interesting topic, which really brings up the reason that we need to take a systems approach to understanding anything in life, understanding food in this case. And I want to talk about raw or sprouted almonds, and really probe the question, which is healthier? So we're going to talk about raw or sprouted almonds and which is healthier. And the context that we want to do this is because I gave a talk a week ago on talking about kale and cardiovascular health. In the middle of that talk, I think someone asked a question about something, and it ended up becoming a brief discussion I had, which I just posted a clip on, about the importance of sprouting things. But several years ago, we at CytoSolve, which is the organization I began to really take a scientific approach to understand food and medicine, etc., a systems biology approach, we actually looked at the question of raw or sprouted almonds, and we came up with some very interesting results. And the reason I want to share this with you today is that when you take a systems approach, it goes beyond pro or anti or left or right on anything. The problem with a lot of the people out there who project themselves as health gurus or trying to promote a particular diet of some form, the problem is that most of them are not scientists. Most of them do not take a systems approach. They're in a fad of some sort at a particular point in history, and they're trying to push that fad and drive people to some outcome. But here we want to take a systems approach so you can really start developing a framework, as we say here on learning, how to think, not what to think, but how to think. And it's very important to do that because the body is a very complex system. Figuring out what to eat is a very complex thing. Many traditional cultures over many, many centuries figured out systems of how to teach people this. But if we can educate enough people on how to think, and the systems approach is a way that gives a wonderful framework on how to think. So if we can do that, you get this broad capability on looking at things beyond pro and anti. So that's what we want to do today. And the discussion about, raw or sprouted almonds, which is healthier, is a wonderful way to do that. I could also do, roasted or raw, or roasted and sprouted. I mean, there's a whole bunch of combinations here, but I wanted to do raw or sprouted. In fact, we have all the data on all of that, which we can do. But I wanted to do this today because it's really going to help you understand. So let me just sort of jump right in and look at what we have on our agenda today. So, let me put this up there. I got it. I think I went to the wrong slide. I'm way at the end. Go to the beginning. Okay. So let's look at this here. Okay. The agenda we have today is raw sprouted almonds. By the way, those of you who want to know about all the different kinds of things we do, you can go to vashiva.com. There's a picture of the website. And you are encouraged more than ever, for your own benefit, don't do it for me, but do it for yourself, to take the Foundations of Systems course, which you'll find at vashiva.com/join. I've enabled anyone to take it. I used to teach this course all over the world, developed at MIT. So all of you can really get a systems understanding, and we give people a incredible scholarship so they can take it and register. So please take advantage of that. But fundamentally, in this presentation or in life, if we can start understanding the intersection of truth, freedom, and health, how freedom, the ability to express oneself, have dialogue and debate, is central to getting to truth, which is basically a process of applying the scientific method. And when we really have truth and freedom, we can get to figure out what's right for our body, our infrastructure, our economic health, etc. Just want to thank someone at Online Call. They just gave us their super sticker. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, and health, once you have good health, you can actually have the strength to fight for freedom and pursue truth. So these are integrated. Those of you who are interested in taking one step, you can actually go get the book right here, System and Revolution. It's about 100 plus pages, but it'll really teach you a consolidated way to take this systems approach. And it's free. You just have to cover shipping and handling. So please take advantage of that. And also, every Thursdays at 11 a.m. EDT and 8 p.m. EDT, I literally do a online open house. We have lots and lots of people join us. You're welcome to join. You just go there and register at vashiva.com/orientation. It's valuable because you'll meet some great people from all over the world. So please take advantage of that. So what we want to do is we're going to look at almonds, the biological function and health benefits today, but we're going to look at more than just almonds. We're going to look at sprouted versus raw. And we're also going to look at, again, harp on it again, how unfortunately the medical doctors do not really learn anything about nutrition. So if you ask them, hey, what's it between raw and sprouted almonds, they probably would say, well, we don't know, or they're probably the same. And then we're going to talk about, from a health standpoint, the nutritional differences and where you should source it. Okay, so let's go into the Journey to Systems video, because before I start, I always like to play this video, which will enable all of you to really understand my intention to take the systems approach to inspire you, but it comes from integrating East and West in a very powerful way, combining the best of modern systems biology with traditional systems of medicine. So let me play this, and then we'll start shortly. Welcome to VA Shiva. VA Shiva is a product of my journey across East and West, science and tradition, ancient and modern, that brings you the science of systems so you can become a force for truth, freedom, health. VA Shiva is a platform of revolutionary education, community building, and weaponry for unleashing local activism. My journey to VA Shiva begins in the chaos of Bombay, where I experienced diverse religions, languages, castes, and in a small village that had no running water, no electricity, where my grandmother, a poor village farmer, practiced Siddha, an ancient system of Indian medicine over 10,000 years old. She observed one's face, the art of Samudrika Lakshanam, to understand a body's unique constitution, allowing her to deliver the right medicine for the right person at the right time. Watching my grandmother heal others, I was inspired to study medicine, but I was also aware of the corrupt caste system of India, which denigrated a human being, where my family were considered low-caste untouchables, where one's birth determined one's destiny. The grit and determination of my mother and father led them to get educated and to come to America, a 1 in a trillion event. Their actions inspired me to work hard and excel. While in 9th grade, I attended New York University in a computer science program, and subsequently, at the age of 14, was given a full-time job as a research fellow at what is now known as Rutgers Medical School in the heart of Newark, New Jersey. There, I investigated the system of sleep using mathematics, computer science, and biology for sudden infant death syndrome. It was there in Newark where I invented email, when I was the first to convert every feature of the physical, paper-based inter-office mail system, including inbox, outbox, memo, carbon copy, blind carbon copy, attachments, into its electronic equivalent, a system which I named email, a term that I was the first to coin. On August 30th, 1982, I was awarded the first U.S. copyright for the invention of this system, recognizing me as the inventor of email. At that time, copyright was the only way to protect software inventions. I went on to MIT, where I earned 4 degrees across multiple systems of engineering: electrical, mechanical, design, biological. That training led me to invent many other systems for advancing humankind. EchoMail, the world's first intelligent email management system. CytoSolve, a computational biology system for eliminating animal testing to discover new medicines faster, cheaper, and safer. And to the creation of a whole systems methodology for certifying clean food. These innovations led me back on a Fulbright to India, where I discovered the missing link between Eastern medicine and Western systems theory, honoring my grandmother, to develop Your Body, Your System, a powerful tool that will help you understand how your body is a system and how the inputs of food, supplements, and exercise bring your body back to its natural system state. And Systems Health, an integrative educational discipline that is now integrated into the VA Shiva platform that will enable you to learn the science of systems, the science of everything, be it your body as a system or our society and politics as a system, to reveal the foundational interrelationships between truth, freedom, health. Now is the time for you to be the light, learn the science of systems, build community, and weaponize yourself to unleash the activism necessary to deliver truth, freedom, health in your local community. Welcome to VA Shiva. So the essence of what we want to do is to really teach people or inspire people how to think, not what to think, because that's really pushing forward an agenda. But if we can provide people a framework of how to think, we can really make a lot more progress. And that's really the science of systems. So when we look at raw versus sprouted almonds, we can apply systems principles. So the truth is something that emerges from applying the scientific method. So here we're going to sort of give you some data on almonds, first of all, to start with it broadly. And then we're going to share with you from a freedom standpoint how the traditional or the conventional medical establishment really knows very, very little about nutrition. So they're really unable to answer any of these questions. And they are fundamental questions. And then we're going to jump into talking about sprouted and raw almonds. Okay. So let's begin from the truth part, truth, freedom, and health, the overview of almond and nutrition. So let's first really talk about almonds. It's known as Prunus dulcis. It belongs to the Rosaceae, the rose family, and it's one of the first domesticated trees cultivated over 5,000 years ago, and it's native to Western and Central Asia. So that's sort of a broad background on where almonds really come from, but it's from the rose family. So now let's really talk about the health benefits of almonds, particularly the 8 biological effects that almond really sort of supports your body in. So let's go into that. So to understand the health benefits of almonds, it's important to understand that there are many systems the almonds affect. One of the things I used to do, and I still try to do regularly, is you can take almonds, overnight, or you soak them. If you're interested, you can actually soak them one night, wash out the water, soak them again. But essentially, you soak the almonds, you peel the almonds, and then you eat it. But in traditional medicines, the reason people say to eat almonds in the morning is because it has powerful benefits to many, many systems in your body. So you can see it has effects for skin health, heart health, digestive health, brain health, mitochondrial health for energy, and metabolic health, to stave off things like diabetes and, to support weight loss. But so almonds affect multiple subsystems. In this case, we're looking at 6 different subsystems. Again, skin, heart, digestive, brain, mitochondrial health, and metabolic health. The other important piece when we talk about the 8 biological effects, first of all, it's a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. That's why it's good for the skin. Gastroprotective, very, very important for digestive health, along with being a prebiotic. Antihypertensive, heart health. Anti-diabetic, metabolic health. Anti-atherosclerotic, again, for heart health. And it's also for brain health, neuroprotective. So these are the 8 biological effects of almonds. Okay, so it's a very, very powerful food. It's potent food. Now what we want to do is we want to talk about analyzing almonds using CytoSolve. And this is about integrating the current research. What we want to do is here, we want to, again, integrate. That's a systems approach. You don't just take one approach, nor do we want to sort of just push our narrative here. Now, again, if you go on YouTube and places, you'll see all these videos asserting things. And it's a problem because it opens, whether you're trying to do something good, simply asserting stuff without having the scientific, integrated evidence really doesn't afford the general public an opportunity to really be fully informed. So everything we share here is based on integrating the current research using CytoSolve. So, it should really say, let me fix this right here. This is from a previous slide. Okay, let me fix this. But this is really almonds, okay? Let me fix that right there and go back to it. I may have done this error because sometimes I use a template. But again, we want to analyze almond using CytoSolve. In this case, there's 5,283 research articles that have been done over the last nearly 200 years. So look at that. There's been 195 years of scientific research, and that's in 289 clinical trials, but 5,283 research articles. So we take all of that research. Let me just make sure where else I screwed this up and fix it, because I hate sort of making this mistake here. This is really, again, Almond, okay? So you're seeing me make some changes in real time here. Great. Okay, so we want to analyze Almond using CytoSolve. And what you see here is we're going to take all of that research here, and relative to sprouted and raw almonds, or raw and sprouted, we distilled that research. And then what we do is we find the molecular pathways and the components involved to produce this analysis that I'm going to share with you today. CytoSolve, by the way, for those of you who do not know, is a very powerful technology platform that came out of my research at MIT to literally eliminate the need for animal testing. But we can use the power of the computer to not only gather data that's out there, organize it, but also mathematically model it. And this approach lets us do some very profound things that were not possible before. Otherwise, you'd have to spend a lot of time. So this is a quick overview of CytoSolve that'll help you understand it, because it's central to how we took a systems approach to share the results on raw versus sprouted almonds. Who would have ever thought someone like me would invent email and create CytoSolve to revolutionize health for personalized and precision medicine, a system for delivering the right medicine for the right person at the right time? I was born a low caste untouchable in India's caste system, a system of aristocracy, oppression, and racism. As a child, I observed my grandmother, a poor village farmer, practice Siddha, India's oldest system of medicine, to heal local villagers by observing their face, to know their unique constitution, to deliver a unique combination of foods, healing herbs, and massage. The caste system and her abilities to heal inspired me to understand the interconnectedness of all life. My name is Dr.SHIVA Ayyadurai. I'm an MIT PhD, a Fulbright scholar, a scientist, technologist, and inventor. My family and I left India to come to America on my 7th birthday. As a 14-year-old, I began working as a full-time research fellow at Rutgers Medical School to unravel the mysteries of sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, and created the world's first email system long before I ever heard of MIT. As I traversed academia over the next 3 decades, I observed self-serving academics, never solving real problems, writing grant after grant, competing for tenure, while diminishing real science and real scientists, pushing a reductionist science to destroy the scientific method. Like the blind men who never saw the whole elephant, but the parts, they delivered a dismembered view of reality. I observed Big Pharma use such reductionism, wasting billions year after year to fund research in test tubes, killing animals, and using the poor as guinea pigs for clinical testing to create products that even the FDA no longer allowed. Not only Big Pharma practiced this reductionism, but also the elites of Big Vitamin, Big Green, and Big New Age, with gurus and yogis, empowered by Hollywood celebrities, selling one supplement after another based on a cherry-picked science. All that changed in 2003 when the Human Genome Project ended, revealing that humans have the same number of genes, about 20,000, as that of a worm, giving rise to a systems biology. We realized that one-size-fits-all medicine was a failure. We realized their medicines were killing us, making today's generation's lifespan shorter than any previous generation. Obesity, heart disease, deaths from adverse reaction to drugs, confusion on what diet, what supplements, and who to believe is what they have delivered you. They push natural and organic products for your beauty and wellness, while their real solution is their plastic surgeons and Botox. We've been sold out. It's time for real science, a system science that interconnects the parts to discover truth, to know what really works, to get the health we need and deserve. This is why I created CytoSolve. CytoSolve is about truth, freedom, and health versus power, profit, and control. CytoSolve is a revolutionary technology integrating bioinformatics, computational biology, mathematical modeling, decentralization to reveal the truth. CytoSolve computes trillions of potential combinations of biomolecular interactions to discover what actually works based on the actual science. No reductionism, no cherry picking. CytoSolve's predictive modeling has been proven accurate time and time again, matching laboratory results. CytoSolve discovers synergistic combinations combinations of compounds to maximize health and reduce toxicity. For example, we know curcumin from turmeric and resveratrol from red grapes alleviate inflammation, but how much should we combine? Current methods are hand-waving at best. Here, with CytoSolve, we first modeled the control condition with no curcumin and no resveratrol to simulate high inflammation with the cytokine level at 0.15 micromolar. Next, we add just 5 micromolars of curcumin. The inflammation drops to 0.05. Next, we use 5 micromolars of resveratrol, and the inflammation drops from 0.15 to 0.06. But when we combine curcumin and resveratrol of 3 micromolars of curcumin and 2 micromolars of resveratrol, inflammation drops from 0.15 to 0.03. Far lower, nearly 200% less than just one compound alone. That's the synergy principle of system science. We've all had enough of their fake and reductionist science. They think we'll simply keep buying their marketing, their celebrities, and their products that can never truly heal us. We don't need them. Great things come when we integrate the best of things. It's our time. It's time we delivered solutions for ourselves. It's time for truth, freedom, and health. It's time for CytoSolve. Welcome. All right, so if you guys want to know more about CytoSolve and what we do, go to vashiva.com right there. And if you scroll down on this page, you'll see also a set of logos here, Open Science Institute Systems Health. If you go to Open Science Institute, one of the things that we are doing is all the research I'm sharing with you here comes from your support and contributions. And that research is part of the Open Science Institute. And we encourage all of you to not only support the research, but also come to us with ideas for new research, because with CytoSolve, we're exploring a number of areas. For example, in cardiovascular health, you can go there and you can actually contribute whatever you want, $1, $10, $100. Those of you contribute 100 or more will get about 15 different gifts, including the ability to start taking the course and the Truth, Freedom, Health Warrior course. So let's now go into almond health benefits, okay? And let's really jump into this by, first of all, looking at the nutrients in almonds. So now we want to talk about the nutrients in almonds. And instead of just sort of hand waving this, I want to really bring to all of you the knowledge that there are 37 key molecules in almonds. So almond is packed with tremendous amounts of nutrition. But it's got 37 key molecules spread out over a number of areas. So first of all, we have macronutrients. Okay, as you can see, there's carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. Carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. And when you want to think about this, what this really falls down to is like the starches, right? Carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids/fats, right? And and by the way, about, if you want to think about it, 10 grams of almonds, is really about 20 almonds, okay? So one almond is about 1 gram, 20 grams of almonds it's almost 1-to-1, it's around 20 grams. So, which is about a serving. A serving has about, let's say, 20 almonds, which is about 20 grams. So just to give you some idea about that here, what we see here, we're looking at about 100 grams, which is 5 times more than that, sort of 5 servings. So if you had 5 servings of almonds, that would have around 20 grams of carbs, 25 grams of protein, a lot of protein. And then fats, 50 grams per 100 grams. Quite a, half of it is fat. And you have the medium chain fatty acids, medium unsaturated fatty acids, and the polyunsaturated fatty acids, okay? But key takeaways, 50% of almond is these fatty acids, which are very good for you. This is not like fats, like you're eating like just fat or something. These are fatty acids, okay? Very important to remember. It's in the area of lipids. All right, so that's the macronutrients. The other piece that we want to look at is these are the micronutrients, which fall into 4 groups. We have vitamins, we have minerals, we have polyphenols, and amino acids. Vitamins, minerals, polyphenols, and amino acids. And this is where I want to sort of go deeper and show you the 37 different molecules. Well, first of all, it's got 7 key vitamins. So that's 7 right there, okay? Thiamine, riboflavin, these are all a lot of the B vitamins, niacin, pantothenic acid, vitamin B6, folate. Those are really what are considered B vitamins, and you have vitamin E. Great source in almonds is vitamin E. So those are your 7 key vitamins in almonds. Next is almonds have a lot of minerals, 6 key minerals. And really what I want you to look at is down below the zinc and the copper in almost near proportion. It's got quite a good amount of copper, but it has the calcium and the magnesium. Look at that amount, 300 milligrams, okay, of calcium and magnesium. Potassium, phosphorus, very, very good for the brain, and then zinc and copper. So again, 6 there, so we're up to 13. And we got 11 key polyphenols. Now, these polyphenols are really like the medicinal components in an almond. The L-glutanins, it's called the tannins, the gallotannins, the ellagic acid, the catechins, camphophyrol, ferulic acid, epicatechin, quercetin, which we've talked about before, isohamnetin, narogenin, resveratrol. A lot of people, you may have heard of resveratrol. People think it only comes from grapes. And we have proto-catechuic acid. So we have 11 different polyphenols, just filled with very powerful polyphenols. And then we have these 13 amino acids. And I want you to really look at this because we're going to come back to this. The amino acids are the building blocks of protein. Okay, amino acids are the building blocks of life. But you can see there's 13 amino acids: histidine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, cysteine, threonine, tryptophan, valine, phenylalanine, very good for brain, tyrosine, arginine, muscle building, and alanine, okay? So these are the 13 key amino acids. So when you add all this up, if I were to add all this up here, we would get the 13 key amino acids. 13 plus 11 is 24, plus 6 is 30, and 37. So that's how we have these 37 molecules are in almonds, okay? Now, one of the questions we want to ask is, when we take a systems approach, we don't take a pro or anti approach. We don't say everything is good or bad. So we want to recognize that we want to find out what's right for you. So how do you do that? Well, if you take a systems approach, if you understand your body as a system, you understand an almond as a system, you can figure out how these two systems interact. Well, how do you do that? Well, many years, not many years ago, 2000, I guess it's been many years, in 2007 or 8, when I finished my PhD in systems biology, in biological engineering, I took about 2 years off and went back to India to see if I could use my knowledge as a systems biologist, as an engineer, to really decipher the traditional systems of Indian medicine, which looked at your body and they figured out what kind of body system you were. And what I discovered was that the ancient systems of Indian medicine are directly related to engineering systems theory. In our course, vashiva.com/join, I teach you all of this. It's you learn a lot of stuff, but it's that sort of 20, 30 years of knowledge you'll also learn. But here, you can use this tool called Your Body, Your System. And by the way, to all of you, when you join the course and you become a warrior scholar, you actually will get access to the Your Body, Your System tool. But I'm going to share with you some screenshots here. So you can really use it to find out, is almond right for you? And so if you go to Your Body, Your System, you can go there directly and actually get the tool. Or if you join as a warrior, you get it for a significantly discounted price. So it's up to you. But if you go to Your Body, Your System, what happens with Your Body, Your System here is that we actually teach people to understand how the body is a system, okay? And every system in the universe, and I'm giving you a little bit of the course, is composed of 3 phenomenon. Everything in the universe: transport, which is the movement of information, matter, and energy; conversion, the ability to take information, matter in one form and convert it to another form. Like digestion does that. You eat something, your body digests it up. That's a conversion process. And storage or structure, the thing that gives shape to something. When you cook something in the morning or whatever, the pot is the thing that gives structure, the building members. Anyway, these are the 3 fundamental components of everything in the universe. Well, what I discovered was in the Indian system of medicine, when they look at your body, they figure out how much vata, pitta, and kapha you have in your body. What I discovered was that transport is vata, conversion is pitta, and storage is kapha. So what you see on the left side of this diagram is how engineers and scientists view the world. On the right side is how the ancients viewed the world. And I figured out this interconnection. Using this, I was able to look at the traditional systems of medicine and remap it. So if you look at everything in the universe can be represented in this triangle of those forces of transport, those forces of conversion, and those forces of storage. What we've been able to do with Your Body, Your System is use this tool to where you can interrogate yourself with a certain set of questions, about 30 questions, and it'll figure out what kind of system you are in this map, which I call the space of transport, conversion, storage, or in the Indian system, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So that's that red dot. It maps it. And then what we can do is, so that's where you are. Just to give you an idea, that red dot represents your body as a system. Now that red dot will move. Some people will be over here, some people here. Don't worry about where the red dot is. It's just who you are, okay? So the first step is know who you are. You can answer another set of questions, in fact, give information about where you're living, what the weather, and that'll tell you where you are today. The black dot is where means like how far you're off target. Now, this happens to all of us because if you don't eat right, you don't get enough sleep, or you were jet lagged, you'll be off balance. So the real goal of health is not to try to be like someone else, not to follow some diet, but it is to bring your body back to its what we call the natural system state. And if it does that, your body has self-healing capabilities, right? This is what happens with any system. So again, and then the system will actually calculate for you and educate you, not from a dietary perspective, but to teach you how food, how exercises, how activities can move the forces of transport, conversion, and storage to get you back to you, okay? So that's Your Body, Your System. I recommend you guys check it out or join the movement and you get it, okay? That's a gift that we give. Now, what does almond do? Well, guess what almonds do? Almond stabilizes Vata, okay? It stabilizes Pitta and it increases Kapha. Remember, it's got all those fats. Kapha is a storage aspect of food, storage aspect of nature, inertia. Pitta is a conversion aspect. So it calms Pitta, it stabilizes movement, but it increases. This is the Eastern approach blended with the engineering systems. So what I did for you guys is just to show you a little more deeper how you can use this is one of my friends, he took the Your Body, Your System and he found out his red dot is here. And then he found out his black dot is over here. And what you can do is there's a tool in the Your Body, Your System called the kitchen. And what you can do is you can actually play with foods and see how it'll affect the black dot, because it'll also bring the black dot to the red dot. Will it in fact do that? So we added almonds. And guess what? Almonds bring you in this direction. So you're headed in that direction, but it increases storage. And that jives very nicely with Western biology because almonds, remember, it has 50% fat. Fat builds structure and it pacifies Vata and Pitta, which are the conversion and the transport elements. So I just wanted to share that with you because you can use this tool, but more importantly, you understand that for some people, if in this case, if your red dot is here, right? Or let's say your red dot was up here, right? In this area, well, you probably got to be careful about eating almonds because it's going to deviate you even farther. For this person, almonds are actually good because it's going to bring them closer in this direction, okay? So again, the goal here is to understand that food is not positive or negative, pro or anti. Food doesn't really care whether it's pro or anti, but it's what is right for you, okay? So there you go. All right. Now, let's, by the way, those of you who sign up as Truth, Freedom, and Health Warriors, go to vashiva.com/join. You get this and a whole bunch of about 15 other gifts that are included. Now, the other piece I want to really talk about is we always think everything is good, right? Or everything is bad, but we need to recognize nothing is good or bad. We need to look at things as they are. Now, almonds, there are also some problems with almonds, okay? And I want to talk about that. Problems with almonds, and I want to consider 4 issues. Okay, what are those 4 issues? Well, again, this comes to overconsumption of almonds, right? It's all about dosaging. One of the things when you take a systems approach, you learn it's about how much. And this is what system science teaches you. It's not about, oh, did you eat this or that, but how much. But in this case, if you have overconsumption of almonds, people are prone, some people, to get skin allergies, okay? Another is kidney stones because almonds have oxalates, okay? Cyanide poisoning, right? Bitter almonds, right? Again, overconsumption. So don't be too scared here. And then digestive constipation, all right? So again, these are some of the important issues to consider. So if you have a proclivity for kidney stones, or you're allergic, or you have some constipation, or you are constipated, right? You should be aware of over-consuming almonds, all right? Maria says, your body, your system is an incredible tool. I just used it today and found out a new food that supports me much better. Yeah, so your body, your system really takes a systems approach to understand where your system is and how you move forward. And so again, you can use it to understand problems with almonds, okay? So there we go. So the next thing I want to go through is when we're looking at understanding, what is the right food, right thing, you realize it's about synergy and combinations. We've talked about CytoSolve. One of the things we've been able to do is blend the East and the West. And more recently, about a couple of years ago, we took CytoSolve and we really wanted to understand in nature, what are the foods that we could use, let's say, to support or lower pain and inflammation. So we really used CytoSolve to mathematically analyze and model the molecular pathways. And like almonds, we looked at other natural ingredients, and that resulted in a very powerful product called MV25. For probably about 15 years, we've been helping other companies, but we had built all these models, and with MV25, it was our first foray into using our own technology to discover something that is very powerful for pain and inflammation. So let me just play MV25, and I'll give you an idea of the power of combining East and West.
Millions of people suffer every day from painful discomfort and swelling, but most pain medications come with harsh side effects, and many alternative supplements have little scientific backing. That's why we at CytoSolve created MV25. MV25 was formulated using the CytoSolve Computational Systems Biology Platform, a technology for precision and personalized health invented by Dr. Shiva during his doctoral research at MIT. This formulation is the result of computing trillions of potential combinations of biomolecular interactions derived from thousands of peer-reviewed scientific papers published across 4 decades by 68 research institutions to discover an optimal synergy of compounds that downregulate biomarkers of discomfort and normal swelling.
Hi, I'm Barbara Ann. My hands would cramp up so that I couldn't hold cards or knit or crochet, and they would go like that. And I'd have to use this when I played cards with my grandkids, and I started taking that MV25. After a bit, I was able to hold cards in my hand, very, very little cramping, hardly at all anymore. MV25.
Hi, my name is Sandy. I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I tore my ACL during Taekwondo. I had a lot of pain and limited mobility. I've been taking the MV25 for about 6 months now. After the first week, I noticed a big difference. After the second week, almost literally no pain.
My name is Jeremy, and I suffer from a lower back problem. Hurt my back at work years ago, and I can go to the chiropractor, do all kinds of different things, and nothing seems to help. And I decided to try MV25. I didn't notice a difference immediately, but within a few days, the pain went away, and it stayed away. I've continued to take it, and even when I do things that I shouldn't do, it seems to go away a lot quicker than it ever did before.
MV25 is certified clean, 100% non-GMO, made in America, and GMP certified for good manufacturing practices. MV25 is CytoSolve optimized, which means that this formula has been engineered to maximize benefits while minimizing toxicity based by CytoSolve. As the science advances, so will this formulation. This is our promise. Order online at mv25.life. Consult your doctor before taking any supplement or medication and use as directed. MV25.
I want to thank Online Call for their very generous donation, which will support our research at CytoSolve. By the way, those of you, if you go to vashiva.com and you click on the shop link here, you will then be able to find MV25 and purchase it right online. Okay. Now, one of the things that happens is when it comes to nutrition, we're talking about almonds here, and you ask your doctor about this, which I mentioned, I would be shocked if they actually knew anything about the nutritional value of almonds, or for that matter, we're going to get into the raw versus, sprouted almonds. And the unfortunate thing is, because doctors are really influenced by sort of the pharmaceutical model, not really nutrition. And in fact, this is a very interesting slide that I want to share with you. Doctors literally take a reductionist narrative in the scientific and media establishment. So the bottom line is physicians are really trained to prescribe medicine, pharmaceutical grade medicine, but really not to provide nutritional guidance. And the nutritional quote unquote experts constantly give conflicting evidence. So this is a problem that many of us find ourselves in. You try to go to your doctor, they don't really know a lot about nutrition. And then you go to these health gurus, many of them who don't have an engineering basis or a scientific basis or a biology basis. So they always, and I'll show you some examples, they give you conflicting advice. So the media coverage of nutrition is always a hyperbole, right? Either one day they'll say fat is good, and then another day they'll say fat is bad. This sort of hits upon it. This is a meme that's out there, basically saying you'll never really hear a doctor saying, I spent years studying nutrition in medical school. I don't think medical school really, at best, maybe there's one course, but it's an elective in nutrition. Here's another example, another meme. Don't ask me for nutrition advice. Less than 70% of doctors receive nutrition classes in medical school, and those that do experience a measly 24 hours of class time on the subject. So that's less than a week, right? It's like half a week. And here's a couple of slides. You'll even find guys like this. One day they'll have things saying why I love kale, and then they'll say problems with eating kale. Or and one of the polls that recently did was saying half of the people find it easier to do their taxes, more than half, than to actually figure out what's healthy for them. Okay, so this is a problem that we face because we don't take this systems approach. So when we now consider the health side, let's move to the health aspect of the nutritional differences between raw and sprouted almonds. This is going to give us a framework to take this systems approach. And I'm going to share with you our research. So let's just jump right into it. So the first thing that I really want to cover now is how does sprouting, here's a question, how does sprouting affect almond nutrition? The 4 key measures. How does sprouting affect almond nutrition, right? And there are 4 key elements that we're going to cover here. First is free-form amino acids. Remember, these are amino acids that your body can just consume, okay? Next is key digestive enzymes. Third is phytic acid, and you're going to learn very quickly why a lot of vegetarians actually are pretty unhealthy because they eat a lot of food with phytic acids. And then oxalates. So these are the 4 measures. So the first thing is look at this here. Column 1 is the amino acids. Column 2 is the amount of this particular amino acid in a raw almond, and column 3 is the amino acid in a sprouted or germinated almond. Now, what do you see here? For nearly every amino acid of these 18 free-form amino acids, the sprouted almond, get this, has 10 to 20 times more. So the sprouted almond has 10 to 20 times more amino acids than the raw almond. This is why many of the vegans, the raw food movement, people who just do vegetarian, don't understand the importance of sprouting. Traditional medical systems always recommend it for grains and nuts and seeds. You sprout them, or you do some processing before you go eat them, because it unleashed a lot more vitamins. So 10 to 20 times more across all of these. If you look at leucine, 20 times more leucine right there. Arginine, very, very important amino acids. Again, about 20 times more. Aspartic acid, about 15 times more. Same with glutamic and glycine. So what you really see here is that when you look at free-form amino acids, sprouted almonds have an incredible amount, multiple orders of 2 orders of magnitude more, or 1 order of magnitude more. Digestive enzymes, okay? Amylase and lipase. What's wonderful about almonds is they come with their own enzymes to digest them and help digest other things. Remember, enzymes are very, very important for digestive health. So look at raw versus germinated. Again, 2 to 10 times more enzymes. Amylase is around 2 times, and lipase, it's around 10 times, okay? So again, both digestive enzyme levels are increased after sprouting. Lipase helps with the digestion of lipids and fats, and amylase helps with the digestion of carbohydrates, okay? Now, is sprouting good for everything? Be careful. You should not be eating, first of all, raw kidney beans. We didn't talk about beans, or a whole nother category of legumes. You have to be very careful because sometimes they have poisons, okay? We're talking today about almonds. You have to be careful, again, applying one-size-fits-all rule. Now, if you look at phytic acid, what is phytic acid? The reason you find a lot of vegetarians who don't do vegetarianism the right way is they're consuming lots of phytic acid. Phytic acid is in grains, and it's in seeds and nuts, which actually blocks the absorption of minerals, okay? Phytic acid blocks the absorption of minerals. This is not a good thing. And what you're seeing here is that raw almonds have 2,542 milligrams of phytic acid per 100 grams. It's almost 2 grams. Germinated almonds have far less, okay? So when you germinate almonds, you're reducing the phytic acid. Your body can absorb it, and it doesn't block these minerals as much as the raw almonds, okay? All right, another very important thing. And the fourth measure is oxalates. I've talked about this when I talked about kale. Look, vegetables are good, but again, you have to recognize vegetables carry with it oxalates. Oxalates can lead to kidney stones. Now, is it going to happen to everyone? No, but you have to be aware of this. And you notice that raw almonds have about 2 to 3 times more, okay, than germinated almonds, right? 62. So germinated almonds have 62% less kidney stone causing oxalates found in raw almonds. All right. So when you really look at this, you have more amount of amino acids. That's something very important to remember. You have more digestive enzymes, great for digesting the foods, right? You have less phytic acid, and you have less oxalates. All of these are good in supporting your health. All right. The next thing we want to talk about is how much almonds should you be eating? Okay. And we're going to talk about this in general now, because before our research, there's very little research done on how they don't really distinguish between raw and sprouted. They typically it's unclear in some of this research. So when you look at how much almonds, what does the current science say? Well, what the current science says is typically we're going to share with you on raw almonds. So it says almonds for heart health, eat about 20 grams of almonds daily. That's about 20 almonds. That helps support heart health, lipid control, okay? 1.1 grams is what one almond is. So about 20 grams is about 20 almonds, okay? Almonds for heart health, glucose control, okay? Again, 60 grams of almonds daily. That's about 3 servings, okay? Could be about, about 50 almonds. Almonds for obesity control, about 28 grams. That's about, about 28 almonds daily, all right? So that's what the research says that's out there right now on how much almonds you should do. Again, this is for sort of general health, but most of that research was done on raw almonds. What I want to share with you is our research. CytoSolve several years ago published a paper, and it was really looking at germinated and non-germinated and roasted. So I could do a whole video on roasted, but what this research showed is that sprouted almonds contain 10 times to 20 times more amino acids. Number one. Number two, sprouted almonds contain 2 times to 10 times more digestive enzymes, which we talked about. Then sprouted almonds contain 3 times less phytic acid, the bad stuff which blocks minerals. And sprouted almonds contain 3 times less oxalic acid, the stuff that causes kidney stones. Bottom line is less is more. What this really means is it's almost like if you, from an amino acid standpoint, you eat, one, if you want to think about it this way, one sprouted germinated almond, that's equivalent in many ways from an amino acid standpoint to eating 10 to 20. So just think about that. The germination process, it's a systems process, has just boosted the amino acid value of it. In addition, the germination process has supported digestion. 2 to 10 times more enzymes. And then the germination process lowers the harmful stuff. So what we're really saying is food is medicine. And this is why, to your friends who are vegetarian, you may want to go educate them. Hey, look, be careful in understanding, just thinking this approach that, just plant-based food is the best food. It's all how you process it. And this is what system science teaches us. It's not a one-size-fits-all model. It's not being religious about something. It's taking the systems approach. Processing food fundamentally changes its constitutive characteristics, okay? And that's very, very important to understand. So again, you're not going to get this kind of knowledge elsewhere because everyone just takes this one-size-fits-all approach. But when you take a systems approach, this is why I recommend all of you, and I'll keep saying it over and over again, and those of you who sort of get it will take the course, and you'll learn a lot, not only about this, but you'll learn about the importance of applying a systems approach to life so we go beyond left and right. It's very, very important for all of our futures, for truth, for freedom, and for health. Now, another question to ask is, are all almonds good? Okay, organic versus conventional. Some very interesting questions here. So again, are all almonds good? Organic versus conventional. First of all, in my view, what the science says is organic almonds are preferred over conventionally grown almonds. Here's one point. Conventionally grown almonds may contain propylene oxide, PPO, which is carcinogenic, whereas PPO is banned in organic production of almonds, okay? That's one important point. Now, almonds have a very high oil, fat content, okay, fatty acid. So almonds can easily absorb pesticides that end up in your body. Organic farming produces healthier produce free of these pesticides, okay? So that's the takeaway from what kinds of almonds should you take. And finally, some of you may know that our movement is the creator of the Clean Food Certified and the Certified Raw label. You'll see it at many products out there. And this labeling, again, takes a systems approach. So we're not just saying organic or, just looking at non-GMO. We look at everything. So when we look at labeling, we have the criteria of, is it safe? How was it produced? Minimally processed, okay? Safety also includes non-GMO, okay? And organic. Minimally processed includes the processing. Did they overheat it? In this case, we're talking about germinating it. And are the ingredients bioavailable? Sprouted foods, particularly grains and these nuts make more bioavailability of nutrients. Okay. So in summary, what we've learned today is the following. We've learned today that almonds are an excellent source of essential nutrients broadly. Nutrient in almond provides numerous benefits, including cardioprotection, skin protection, neuroprotection, improved digestion. Now, sprouting almonds enhances their nutritional benefits. Almonds are pretty good by themselves, but when you sprout them, you get more benefits. First of all, the harmful chemicals like phytic acid and oxalates are lowered in the sprouted almonds. You get free-form amino acid levels are higher in sprouted almonds. And then finally, you get digestive enzymes that are increased in sprouted almonds. All right. And remember, I want to reemphasize, we've taken an approach of the science, the truth. We've talked about the attack on freedom, where the traditional medical establishment doesn't really want people to learn nutrition. And we talked about, in this case, to understand health, when you take a systems approach, in this case, raw and sprouted, you see a significant difference. So I want to recommend, again, all of you, hopefully the reason I do these talks is to inspire all of you that we don't want to take a left or right, pro or anti approach, but I want you to learn how to think. Go to vashiva.com/join, become a warrior scholar in the Truth, Freedom, and Health movement. And again, please get a copy of the book. You can get it on Amazon and pay me $20, or you can get it through this process and you get it absolutely free. You just cover shipping and handling. So Renee says, really inspiring talk. Renee, hope you're doing well. And then I want to recognize that this approach that we take, that we've applied here to understanding raw versus sprouted, as you know, if you go look at many of my videos, we've applied it to all different systems, political systems, understanding any kind of system, medical systems, etc. But I want to inspire all of you to get involved in the Truth, Freedom, and Health movement so you become conscious about going beyond left or right. Some of you may not be ready for that. Some of you may want to be in the bucket of left or right, or be apathetic, or want to do crazy things. But if you want to take this approach, you got to get some training. And hopefully this video, and I'll be right back, will inspire you. We have allowed our country to be taken over from within, and the end goal is you will have a homogenized world where we will become slaves, because there is a condition among the elites that really thinks they're better than you, deep down inside them, that you don't deserve the freedoms you have. They don't. This reality is what people need to wake up to, and we need to all unite, working people. There's only one movement that can do that, and that is the movement that we started creating here in Massachusetts, the movement for truth, freedom, and health. Look, I've been a student of politics since I was a 4-year-old kid, studying revolutionary movements, left wing, right wing. There's a physics, there's a nuclear science to destroying the establishment. To build a bridge, you need to understand Newton's equation. You need to understand the laws of gravity. You need to understand Poisson's ratio. There is a way to build a revolution, and that's why I put this together. My goal is to train an army of truth, freedom, and health leaders. We don't need followers like social media. We need leaders, but they need training, because the educational system does not teach them history, nothing. So in 3 hours, that's what I've started doing. That's the solution. We got to train people. First, with understanding what a system is. The second is understanding the interconnection between truth, freedom, and health. Freedom is the ability to move freely, communicate freely, right? Talk freely. Without freedom, you cannot convert ideas, hypothesis into truth, which is science. And without freedom, you can't really get to truth. And without truth, you make up fake problems and fake solutions, which means you destroy our health. And without health, which is the infrastructure of us and our body, you can't fight for freedom. Third concept is it has to be bottoms up. Working people, people who work uniting. And what the right wing has done is whenever you say working people unite, that must be communist. Meanwhile, they've let the Democrats run unions, which suppress workers. Completely corrupt. But when you look at the arc of American history, it's been when working people came up. We need to go local. Every solution I'm coming up with as a part of this movement, we're giving the science, which is the truth, and then we tell people what they can do on the ground. Like with election fraud, you don't need to wait for some lawyer. Our goal is to train people, Dave, to go local, to go local, to go local, fight locally. Forget lawyers, Forget politicians, forget celebrities. You got to learn politics, and there is a science to it. They lock us down, we should be ready to shut them down. And the fourth part of this principle is a not so obvious establishment. So when you look at a system, there's always something that disturbs you from getting to your goal. Well, the biggest disturbance is a not so obvious establishment, which are those people who claim they're for you, on the left and the right. The Al Sharptons who tell black people I'm for you. The Tucker Carlsons. Do you think any true anti-establishment person will ever be on Fox or CNN? I don't think so. They both mislead working people back into the establishment. Without this solid understanding of political physics and theory, you're screwed. You're going to follow on the left wing, Bernie Sanders. Oh, he said something. Or Robert Kennedy. Scumbags. Or you're going to follow, some right-wing talk show host. They're not going to lead us to liberation. It's us. And that political physics, it's a nuclear science of change. Bottoms up. We have to organize to understand that there is people who talk a good game and then look at what they actually do, left and right. I'm sorry, Sean Hannity may say some good things, but I don't see the urgency in his voice to get something done, and it can only come when you weaponize yourself with the right knowledge. You need to be able to identify a rat. Christ didn't go after the Romans, right? It was the Pharisees and the Sadducees who screwed him up. His own quote-unquote people. And that's where we're at. So these four concepts I've built into a curriculum. People can go to vashiva.com, and it's an educational program. We need to train people in political theory. You need to have physics, and I've created that curriculum. People need to get educated. We need to get educated fast. And within a half an hour, I can teach people. 2 years of MIT control systems, I teach people those concepts. Then I apply it, anyone can understand it. And then you say, oh, I got to build a bottoms-up movement. They have to get politically astute, and then they have to go locally and act, not sit there on social media. They have to act locally, defy locally, do civil obedience locally, but with knowledge on how to build a movement. The Senate campaign's expanded to the Movement for Truth, Freedom, and Health, and they can find it on V as in Victor, A, Shiva, vashiva.com, so people can sign in. They can get access to a bunch of videos. If they want to take a course and become a Truth, Freedom, and Health leader, I offer a full scholarship there. But we want people to make a commitment that they'll study, that they'll get certified, that they'll go do activities on the ground. So go to VA Shiva, Victory America Shiva, vashiva.com. Anyway, I hope that was helpful for everyone. And also, final announcement, be aware that every Thursdays, 11 a.m. and 8 p.m., we hold an orientation at vashiva.com/orientation. Go there and register and RSVP. I look forward to seeing you there. You'll find it's a very valuable process because we'll have some interactions. You'll also be able to meet some wonderful people from all over the world. Our movement for truth, freedom, and health is growing all over the world. So I hope you have a chance to do that. And that's about it, everyone. And if some of you have seen this, you may want to stay on. But if you haven't, I'm just going to play the final video, which will show you all the wonderful features that are involved in the Foundations of Systems Warrior Scholar program. For those of you who are interested in it, be well, have a good night. And here is a final video, which will walk you through all the features. But go to vashiva.com/join and become a Truth, Freedom, and Health Warrior. Thank you. Hello, this is Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. Welcome to VA Shiva, the platform of education, technology, and activism, so you may raise your consciousness to win the truth, freedom, and health you need to create the future you deserve. The VA Shiva platform provides this truth, freedom, health warrior scholars the following 3 capabilities. Number 1, an ultimate education that is based on the science of systems. Number 2, technologies to empower you to take charge of your health, as well as social media tools, independent of big tech, so you can connect with other incredible truth, freedom, health warrior scholars equally dedicated like you to winning truth, freedom, and health. 3, instruments for activism, so you become a beacon of light in your online and offline community to educate others' growth and advancement. VA Shiva provides you the foundations of the science of systems, the ultimate education. The science of systems provides you the missing fundamental scientific knowledge to understand every system in and around you. The science of systems will enable you to uncover the real problem and real solution in any situation and on any issue. Concerning the educational component, first you will receive direct access access to me to learn the science of systems in my 3-hour live private online group class that I run every week. Second, you will have access to archived lectures so you can continue your education independent of me. Third, you can test your proficiency in learning the fundamental principles and get a formal certification for the foundations of systems. Independent of this classroom education, you will receive also 4 important books. The first book is the best-selling classic Systems and Revolution, from which you can learn all of these concepts and more. The second book is The Science of Everything, that will educate you on how the science of systems is the foundational knowledge of every system in the universe. The third book, Your Body, Your System, focuses on how to understand the interplay of these systems within your own body. And then the fourth book, Your System, Your Life, will help you apply these principles to other aspects of your life, such as running a business, understanding relationships, and more. Beyond the curriculum and books, the second capability is the technologies that you will be afforded. One of them is a powerful Your Body, Your System software, which is an online laboratory where you can use your body as a system to further deepen your understanding of the science of systems. The tool allows you to understand what kind of system you are. Is your system on course or is it off course? And how the inputs of food, supplements, herbs, activities such as sleep, yoga, meditation, exercise can affect your body to bring it back on course. Finally, to support your education, I've also included a seminal scientific paper that I wrote, which will help you understand that the knowledge of systems, it does not only originate in the modern world starting in the 1920s and 30s, but it actually dates back 10 to 20,000 years and intersects directly with the foundations of Eastern systems of medicine. In addition to this, you will also get 2 scientific papers sharing how the science of systems can also be used to apply to understanding how food is medicine. One paper exposes turmeric from the molecular systems level and how it affects your body. The other paper explores ginger and how that affects your body. That's just the educational piece. As you raise your consciousness through this education, you will likely want to connect with other Truth, Freedom, Health warrior scholars in an environment where you can connect and build community. To support that, I've also created 2 powerful social media tools. One of them is a VA Shiva forum. Here you can start discussions, you can pose questions and meet others and have healthy debates. The other is VA Shiva Social, where you can create your own profile, your own presence, like other major social media tools. However, it is independent of big tech. You can use VA Shiva Social to interconnect with your fellow Truth, Freedom, Health warrior scholars and build community. Beyond the education capability and the social media capability, the platform also enables you to take action by disseminating your knowledge on the ground and into your local online and offline communities. Powerful educational cards and research are included so you can pass these cards to your friends and neighbors that provide them summarized content, which further directs them to online research and education. In addition to this, the Activism component also provides you many short 1-minute educational video content, memes, and text, allowing you to quickly craft messages for your Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and other pages so you can deliver content to educate others and drive them to longer educational posts on VA Shiva. VA Shiva is fundamentally an enabling platform for you to get the truth, freedom, and health you deserve through education, technology, and activism. I hope you become a Truth, Freedom, and Health warrior scholar today. Thank you.